So, I am ready. I hope you are also. Welcome to everyone to join this Mobihub Student Challenge event from Shared Mobility Rocks. So, we will start. Not everyone is in the room already, I think, but they can join later on. Welcome to everyone who's here already. I think almost 80 people are here at this moment. We have more subscriptions, but this is always like that. People are joining. Welcome to everyone. This event is being recorded and it will be shared afterwards. So you don't have to take notes. Don't have to ask us to send presentations or whatever. Everything will be recorded. If you can share presentations from someone, we will put it on the website. Shared Mobility Rocks if you click on the student challenge. Shared-mobility.rocks is the event website. Don't ask to go on stage. This is possible, but we will only allow the speakers on stage. No groupies, no stage diving. Sorry for that. Therefore, you have to come to the physical event later in 2021 or 2022. We don't know it yet. And the whole event is also on Menti. Menti.com is a tool for interaction with the audience. So you can use it like you are doing already here, some of you. It's always the same code. Go to Menti.com. There you can fill in the code 9208789. It's easy to use. You don't have to download an app or whatever. You can use it on your smartphone, tablet, or even another screen on your laptop. Menti.com. And we will test it soon. So, I'm a little bit too fast the screen right now. One question for every one of you. Go to Menti.com and tell me where are you from? Hasselt is a new town. Velten, Besem, the capital of Veder, Denmark. Welcome from Denmark also. There are people from Brussels in the room. This is an international event. Most people are coming from Belgium, but there are some. I saw Lelystad also from the Netherlands. Welcome, someone else from the Netherlands. Welcome from Ghent. We are in Ghent. I'm here with my colleague Arne, who's supporting me in the background. I'm in Café Woest, next to the Watt Factory. Namur from Wallonia, also San Francisco. Welcome from San Francisco. You know, our DJ, he's from Berlin right now. So thank you very much. We go to the next slide. Now you know how it works, Menti.com. Maybe it didn't work for you the first time, but maybe you can try it later on. Always the same code. Something good to know. If you want to see a screen bigger, if you want to see the DJ instead of me on a big screen, double click on this window. It's easy to use. Also, if you want to have the whole screen a little bit bigger, there's an arrow next to the time on top right and next to the number of participants. You can click on it to come close to the stage. And also the last thing, there's a chat. Use it to share your vibes, give awesome feedback to the speakers, chat with the DJ. For any technical issue, we have people supporting you and answering those technical questions. So use the chat. You are free to use it. So you saw already on the invitation a couple of logos. I have to say a little bit information about those logos. This event has funding from Interact Share North program. The Interact Share North program is a program, Taxistop is part of it, Autodelen.net is part of it, also the city of Bremen is part of it. Together with several partners from the North Sea region, we are boosting shared mobility, bike sharing, carpool in the whole North Sea region. Also from Belgium, Leidal is part of it. So welcome. If you are part of Share North, give a shout in the chat. eHub's project, another project, in this project, Taxistop SBL and Autodeel.net with the city of Leuven are creating pilots on electric mobility. We are working also on the API, the TOMP API. We are doing it in Northwestern Europe with partners from Manchester, Nijmegen, Arnhem, Amsterdam. Also the coordinator, Arjen, is here. If you are from eHubs, give a shout also in the chat. Taxistop is one of the organizers. You might know us from our carpool app. We are partner from Cambio. We have services for elderly people. We work on innovation. We also create public and political awareness. And the other organization is Autodelen.net, the Flemish Association for Shared Mobility. They try to maximize the benefits of shared mobility. You might have seen their new tool. They have a very nice calculator to measure or to calculate how much it costs to have a car compared to car sharing. And if you have less than 15,000 kilometers a year, it's better to share a car. So you can use the tool in English and French, and Dutch and French on the website. So nothing more about the logos. Another question for you. What is your favorite rock song? And if you have a rock song about mobility, you can mention it also, but it doesn't have to be a mobility song. Use the Menti tool for everyone who just came in this room. It's 928 08789 is the code, menti.com. You don't have to download an app. It's easy to use. So tell me, what is your favorite rock song? The Last Christmas rock version. Okay. I'm not such a fan of Christmas music. I know Bob Dylan has nice Christmas music, but okay. Queen. Lots of old school rock music. Does it say something about the audience? But there are many students over here also. So maybe Mr. DJ Chale, you have some inspiration for later on. So, okay, thank you very much for your favorite rock songs. What is the mission of Shared Mobility Rocks of our Mobihub work from Taxistop or Autodelen.net? We just want to have more livable cities and accessible cities and regions. We want to do that by creating a network of quality mobility hubs. For us, it's not important to have as many hubs as possible, but good hubs, user-friendly, environmental-friendly, that makes sense in a strong network. This is the mission of this event also. And this is the challenge of the event, how to create that kind of hubs. And we already have 5 winners because this challenge today, the student challenge, was launched a couple of months ago. 20 groups of students applied to it, and 5 groups are selected to present or pitch their idea today. It was a partnership with different universities from Ghent, Hasselt, and the University of Brussels. So we will see pitches from the students, and then are more than 5 winners. We are winners also because working together with students is always refreshing, inspiring, and we are so happy that we got the opportunity to work together with those universities. We have a jury of experts. Not all of them are transport experts, but we have experts on mobility hubs. Today we will have presentations of our exceptional jury from Naman. It's focused on human-centered design. Also from Benoit Moritz from the ULB and Metrolab, who is an urbanist and architect. And we will have presentations from Mrs. Mobihub herself from the city of Bremen, the pioneer city for mobile punkte, Mobihubs. We were inspired in Flanders by the city of Bremen. So, what are the awards for the participating students today? So it has to be some rock and roll awards. So the third group awarded by the jury will receive 150 euros, but also a voucher for Ancien Belgique. And the second group also a little bit more. And the winners of this event today, they will receive 300 euros and a 100 euro voucher for Ancien Belgique in Brussels. There's a public vote also in the end. And there's a Music Mania voucher you can win to buy some vinyl plates, etc. So, there's a very tight program today. We have pitches, we have presentations from the jury members. Something I've learned, if you organize an online event, not too many speakers, but this is already a mistake that we have made. In between, we'll have an ultimate quiz. Everyone can participate to the quiz, and we end, of course, with the award ceremony. I hope everyone is ready. And I would like to invite the first students on stage. First students, Christine and Jeroen from the University of Hasselt. You have 5 minutes to pitch. We will do some timekeeping. And then there's a 5 minutes questions and answers coming from the jury members. They can come on stage already now, or maybe just after the pitch of the students. Just send a request to the moderator. You can see a button on the right top of your screen. So Jeroen and Christine, the floor is yours. And for everyone, I hope you enjoy. Bye-bye. Okay, I think for the first group, there's not really a pitch. They have made a nice video.
Hi, we are Jeroen and Christine, and we're glad to present you our Mobihub of the future. So let's get started. Oh wait, we need to add some music because this video was made for the student challenge of the event Shared Mobility Rocks. First of all, our concept exists on a big scale with many little Mobihubs to create a network that is coherent, recognizable, and effective. The hubs are situated on walking distance from each other after the example of the 15-minute city. Our Mobihub needs to have shared mobility, so all kinds of vehicles need to be a part of our hub. Bicycles, steps, buses, cars, etc. But we don't want them to be very polluting, so we chose to make them all electric and wireless. How? Charging through induction is already a possibility today, but this can be expanded in the future to one big zone where you can charge your vehicle as soon as you park or pay. In combination with green renewable energy, partly coming from the Mobihub itself, and with an accessible app, this could be a dream scenario. The hub itself provides information via dynamic screens. People can also scan a QR code to get the information on their phone. Information such as where are the other Mobihubs or how does the network connect? What are the departure and arrival times of the buses? What kind of urban functions are situated in the area? Which shared vehicles are available and where are they? Etc. When thinking about the user and about how we can attract new people, good social safety is a must. There are a couple ways to increase the sense of security. We chose to make an open space, without or with very little dark alleys or corners in and around the Mobihub. In combination with some functions in the neighborhood, we can create new opportunities to attract non-users. Lighting is also very important, and it does have an effect on social safety. Studies show different kinds of lighting also have different effects, like attracting people or increased visibility. Green is an extra attractive force. It provides peace and mindfulness within the busy mobility world. In combination with easeful benches, the user will experience comfort in its fullest. To finalize this future Mobihub, extra services like Wi-Fi, food and beverages, and toilet facilities can make this Mobihub network even better. In short, a big network of Mobihubs like this could be a big plus for our society.
So thank you very much, Christine and Jeroen, for this nice video. You can maybe say something about yourself, Jeroen and Christine, and in the meantime, I ask the jury members, Rebecca, Benoit, and Marie, to come on stage, please.
Okay, so hello, we are Christine Droogmans and Jeroen Hamakers. We are two students of the course Transportation Sciences at the University of Hasselt.
And of course, we are very happy to be part of this finale of this event. And that's why we created this video. And we hope you enjoyed our ideas.
Okay, thank you. So it's up to you, jury members. Do you have questions?
Yes, I do. Well done, Christine. Great video, very creative, well done. It seems like you really did your research about what Mobihubs are all about. What makes your idea for Mobihubs of the future unique and different from the strategy that is already being promoted by Mobihubs.eu?
So we wanted to really focus on a big network and with a lot of small little Mobihubs. And a big point for our Mobihub was the contactless. Everything is without contact, so dynamic screens, but also with a QR code, wireless, and so everything is contact-free.
Thank you. Marie, Benoit, do you have questions?
Yes, congratulations for the video. It's very clear and it communicates very well the idea, so it's very nice to watch. I was wondering maybe in your process, because you speak about the attractivity of different kind of people, users. How did you find that out? What they are looking for in this hub? How do you want to repeat?
If I understand you right, then Jeroen had found how to attract people by using different colors of lightning. And there were different things like improving your site if you use it, or use the color yellow. That would attract more people because it creates a happy space. That was one point. But I don't know if that's an answer to your question because I didn't hear it right.
Yeah, it's very clear. I was also wondering, like, the functionalities you define in the user hub. I think it's very interesting to have like side functionalities, except that only mobility. But then I was wondering, how did you find this kind of functionalities?
So a big point also for Mobihub is to integrate it with the rest of the city or the rest of the village, because it's on every scale. So a Mobihub next to a public library, a Mobihub next to a community center is also a kind of way to improve the social safety, to improve the more people also always equal better social safety and better sociability.
Benoit, have you got a final question?
Yes, hello to everyone first.
Hello, Benoit.
A question about maybe the context that you imagine for your hubs. Which kind of context, urban context or suburban context, do you imagine your hubs? And is there any difference that you see that the hubs has to be, let's say, modified according to the context, or how do you see this?
Yes, of course. Mobihub always has to be modified according to the context. So our Mobihub especially is kind of a replacement for the car, for a lot of car travel. A lot of car travels are short distance, so this can be replaced by a bicycle, by a bus, and this Mobihub has to be kind of a point where all this comes together.
Okay, we have 1 minute. If are there still questions? Otherwise, we can go to Rebecca, to her perspective. No? Then, okay, thank you very much, Christine and Jeroen. Good luck. And Rebecca, the floor is yours. I'm looking forward to your presentation.
There we go. Hi, everybody. Good evening. It's my chance to share with you, or opportunity to share with you, why Mobility Hub rock. And I hope there's no feedback. I saw a comment in the chat. I hope that is not a problem anymore. So, what is a mobility hub? Introduction to that. There's a lot that comes out if you do a quick Google search on that. Lots of different pictures and different concepts, and some of them go from being uber modern, uber futuristic, and maybe in a sense not very people-centric. But a mobility hub can also be this. The old classic railway station. You've got your long distance public transport, you have your local public transport and taxi services, you've got your cargo transport, and there we go, that's your information services. But you can see there are a lot of different definitions you can have, but luckily Taxistop and Autodeon.net got together and provided a very clear definition of what a mobility hub or Mobihub is in our sense. And a Mobihub is a transport hub on neighborhood level where different and sustainable and shared transport modes are linked with each other. And more specifically, a Mobihub has to have essential elements. It can have multiple functions, but it has to have a few essential elements, in our opinion. And those include car sharing, bicycle parking, very clear signage, and a connection to public transport. And basically, Angela already mentioned the Share North project. That's what we do in the Share North project. We got together for a Mobility Hub jam session, essentially, where all partners with experience in Mobihubs brought their own instruments, their own personal experiences, and got together to jam, to inspire each other, and to create something new. And a lot of that inspiration comes from the city of Bremen, for which I work. I work for the local transport ministry and plan mobility hubs. And we have been planning mobility hubs, they're called Mobilpunkte here, since 2003. The large variety we call Mobilpunkte. They feature 4 to 12 car sharing stations, public transport, cycling infrastructure, taxi stands, often neighborhood function, like recycling facilities, and sometimes charging for EVs. In 2013, we expanded that strategy to include Mobilpunktchen. Those are small neighborhood hubs with 2 to 3 vehicles. Those are really for where the journey starts. But in both aspects, what is most important is the visibility and the accessibility in the neighborhood, and really clear branding and clear marking. In 2018, a new band member joined the group, and that was the city of Bergen with their Mobilpunkte. Very similar to the city of Bremen, that included the same basic elements, but took, added their own specific tips, offering car sharing with only electric vehicles at these hubs, and with a lot of the larger hubs, this touch screen aspect, and bike sharing. But similar to Bremen, with the Mobilpunktchen, they also have the smaller neighborhood hubs that feature shared cars, charging for electric vehicles, and neighborhood trash collection services, underground trash collection services, and covered bicycle parking, for instance, which is really important. But the organizations that really took the Mobility Hub concept platinum in Flanders were Autodelen.net and Taxistop. Going from launching the concept in Flanders in 2017, in less than 3 years, gathering major political support and significant funding, and the founding of an own NGO, Mobipunkt NGO. So really amazing contribution with high level of goals to have over 1,000 Mobihubs, and more than 50 municipalities in Flanders are now planning mobility hubs as a result. But I mean, what does that mean? What's the whole point? Why mobility hubs other than mobility hubs? It's because cities and regions all across Europe face the same challenges of resource and space efficiency in cities. Cities that were designed for people, but are dominated by cars at the moment. And that's not only ugly, unfair, it's also unsafe. Cities are also faced with the same issues of transport-related emissions, poor air quality, and greenhouse gases, which are drastically need to be cut for the sake of the public's health and our planet's health. The matter of social inclusion and accessibility is also a really important one. Inclusiveness for people of all ages, of all physical abilities, and of all genders in cities. And quality of life, obviously, in cities. So there is a need for a solution, and mobility hubs can offer that, and they offer a number of benefits. For instance, mobility hubs bring shared and sustainable transport modes into the public realm, into the public awareness, and make them more accessible as well. Mobility hubs also offer cities and regions an opportunity to provide tailored solutions to meet the needs of the community and to meet transport policy goals. that goes from a design element and is not only limited to the mobility services there, but simple design can also be used to meet the needs of the community. And something like the Mobipunkt brand or the Mobilpunkt brand in Bremen brings together increased visibility and also political support. It's something that can create political backing for a concept. So there are benefits, but what about the impacts? And the impacts is something that in Bremen specifically are most important. That is the entire reason for planning and promoting mobility hubs in the city of Bremen. And it's because we know that specifically shared mobility, such as station-based car sharing, is a supplement to other sustainable travel modes, and it supports sustainable and healthy travel behavior. We also know that shared mobility at these mobility hubs is an effective way of reducing transport-related emissions simply because of the move to more sustainable travel modes. It makes it easier and effortless. And most important for solving that problem of overcrowded streets filled with too many cars, we know that shared transport modes, specifically car sharing in particular, helps reduce car ownership in cities. One example, the city of Bremen, one car sharing vehicle replaces 16 privately owned cars. So we know that the mobility hubs have a high level or possibility to have a high level of impact if you plan them wisely. So when I'm listening to your pitches now, I will be asking myself and you also the question, what do you want to accomplish with your mobility hubs? What challenges are you addressing and what kind of impact? And as Angelo and the organizers know me really well, and maybe you saw an invitation, how can you please me? It's be realistic. Dream, don't have to dream, but don't expect miracles. Be realistic and let me know how your mobility hub can change the future. Thanks. Look forward to your submission.
Wow, thank you very much. Yes, we know you, but you have learned us also to dream, like dreaming about 1,000 mobility hubs in Flanders. And okay, our Flemish government is following us. And now we are doing the same work in Brussels, Wallonia, sitting together with the governments and try to have some impact over there also. Thanks a lot. So now it's time for the next group of students. I would like to invite Marcelo and Dori on stage. So please. Yeah, already Marcelo, and I think Dori will join also. Now it's up to you. You have 5 minutes also to pitch your ideas. You are coming from the Vrije Universiteit Brussel, the University of Brussels. So the floor is yours. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, Angelo, for the introduction. Hello, we are an interdisciplinary team who all share a deep desire to improve the sustainability of our transport systems and to make transportation a collaborative engagement. And as Rebecca mentioned, we also see a need to make mobility hubs tailored to people's needs. But how can we do this? Our cities are becoming more and more complex and therefore more and more difficult to understand. Mobility in our urban areas has gone from a single mode, walking, to a plethora of various modes, both motorized and non-motorized. In the coming years, millions, if not billions of dollars and euros will be spent in mobility hubs across Europe. And these hubs are sure to revolutionize the flow of goods, people, and money around the city. As we build these new centers, it is absolutely crucial that we have an understanding and knowledge to make mobility hubs environmentally and socially sustainable. But there are two main obstacles to blocking this from happening. Firstly, there is no affordable quality data. Most data only shows a big picture, but can't inform us on how users experience and interact with transit-oriented developments. Participatory planning is limited in time and space, and people who attend meetings can often make their voices heard louder by saying no rather than saying yes. We see this as a contributing factor to the overall lack of satisfaction of urban transport systems in general. And these kinds of planning principles have led us to transport and mobility systems which are completely unsustainable. But we want to reconceptualize this, bringing users into policy creation from the very beginning in meaningful ways. And therefore, we find it timely and necessary to ask the question, how might we give mobility users more voice and municipalities more quality information for mobility hub planning? On to you, Marcelo.
The way we want to deliver that is a collaborative app. From one side, we have what they want to express, what they need, how they use, and what they think. And from the other side, we have the municipalities who now can create some collaborative planning and access this continued flow of affordable and quality information. But also we can provide data for those service providers to create some new and unique services on those hubs. So in the end, what is there for the users and what is there for the municipalities? So for the users, they will have their voice. So they have their priorities in what they are looking for the mobility planning, their opinion in how the mobility planning and the mobility services are today, but also they can give input in what is missing for them. And with that, they will start to feel it's much more their own city. They will be able to follow the implementation of projects. They will be able to exchange experiences with other users and also share their journey the way it happened. And the municipalities will start to see the needs of people. They'll be able to hear what they are talking. They'll be able to learn with all those information we'll be gathering. But very important, they will have a diversified and engaged voices. You will not be just a qualitative or a quantitative with limited number of people. And with that, they start to become, so it will be a community collaboration with information decision-making. And with that, we believe they can make a much better, sustainable and long-term vision for those mobility hubs. So the way we want to deliver it is to creating a white label platform. It's a scalable to any municipality with minimum adaptation, to a license fee for municipalities, but we also will do an enriched but anonymized data for the service provider. So we'll get data, we'll enrich it, provide reporting, and provide some data targeting. So what we believe, it is our business is feasible. It is not unrealistic for city. It is our original solution because today there is nothing to deliver what we are offering and is sustainable minded. We believe engaging people and municipalities together, we really can deliver something for the long term. So let's make mobility an engaging collaboration. Thank you very much, and we are open for your questions.
Thank you very much. Right in time, 5 minutes. So now, jury members, come on stage and ask your questions. Okay, and some of the teammates are coming on stage also.
Hello.
So jury, go on. Yeah, Benoit?
I don't have a question, but basically a question of understanding. Basically, your proposal is to create an app. That's it?
No, it's actually more than just creating an app. It's really creating this engagement for each municipality on its own through the service of an app. An app is what will make this happen, but it's more than just creating an app.
Okay, and which kind of information will you find on the app, or would the app provide to the people who use the app?
Excuse me, I couldn't hear very well what you were asking.
Which kind of information will you find on the app, or will be provided to the people who use the app? Sorry, but it was not very clear for me in the presentation.
Maybe that was the part of the presentation where Dori was talking, I think.
The kind of information.
Yeah, but I believe so. It is today. You can have a research and ask to the users what they need, the way they move, and what are the services they are looking for. But today you can do that in a single search in a spot in time. With this app or this platform, let's call it that, the citizens will be able to tell today, I do not need to have here a shared bike because maybe what I need here, it is an electric vehicle. So they will start to share what they need. It will not be anymore a city decision, what they decide, implement and defend, but they will start to hear each voice. So how it is the services today? Do you have a good quality of services today? What you are looking for on those mobility hubs? or where should be the mobility hubs nowadays. So engaging the population in building those mobility hubs, you have a much better relation, and you be a much better sustainability in where and how those mobility hubs should be.
Okay, Marcelo, thanks for pitching again. Marie, Rebecca, have you got questions?
Yeah, thanks for your presentation. I have a quick question. How do you propose engaging citizens that are not smartphone users, engaging the needs of maybe children or the elderly with this app?
Yes, that's a good question. Actually, it's not the purpose of the app to replace the normal ways of how municipalities engage with people. It's more like an added value. So the traditional ways in how people are reached of each municipality is still possible the way it is, but this is just to engage more people on a more efficient way.
Good answer.
Points for you. Marie.
Yeah, from a user perspective, I think it's pretty nice to involve the user, but you thought about different users, like municipalities a user, and also citizens. So it's very well thought, I think, from my point of view, to engage them. I was wondering, why did you choose to go digital first? Is there
why to go?
Yeah.
Why to go digital?
Yeah, and engaging user and taking their voice into account and.
In general, everything is going digital. There is a huge digital transformation. So I think it's the most logical step to go digital too. It's more inclusive, and it's very easy for people in the coming generations to use it this way.
Yeah, if you look, you have two ways to engage. You have an example is Citizen Lab, but you need to recruit people, you need to sit and talk to people. So with here, we can very easily access those people at any point in time and continuously. What is different to the user research, what you do a spot in time, and we need very specific people and time to meet. So here we flow of information and quality.
Especially that continuous flow is very important, which you don't have in other situations or other media.
Okay, thanks. I think we can close this pitch and the questions, and everyone may leave the stage. Congratulations with a nice pitch for the students. Marie, would you like to come on stage and give your presentation?
So, yeah, great. What I'm going to talk about, because it's my field and the field of the company I'm working in, is that the design part. How do you design for people, and how do you design for not everyone and not only one user, but for group of users? How do you take them into account in your project? A quick presentation of who I am, what I'm working, and with whom. So we are NAMAN, a human-centered design agency, also made of people, based in Brussels, and we do different kind of projects at different levels. So we design digital products. So for instance, here it's an application for air traffic controllers. I tried to took some examples linked to mobility, kind of. When we do that, we focus on the functionalities. So are the people going to be able to use this tool and do whatever they want to do with it? And it depends on every context and every people. The usability, so is it easy for them to do what they want to do? And also what we call the user friendliness, is it like particularly intuitive for them to use it? They don't need to have a people close to them to tell them on which button they have to click. For instance, if you take an example of a train station, all the screen you have to book your ticket can be interaction and interface products. And we also design services. So here we focus much more on the experiences of different users. So here it's much more close to the hub. You have different kind of use at different time, different users, and you have to take into account all their needs. and it also have to be easy to use for them, the services. It has to run smoothly for them. And it's a bit like an application. They have to understand how to get the information and how to use it without someone beside them to tell them how to do it. For instance, if you still take the train station example, the train station or SNCB, STIP in Brussels, they could be an example of a services. So you have different users with different needs. Then we also design strategies. Here, strategies is slightly bigger. When we speak about user at this level, we take more into account stakeholders, so group of users within an organization, and we confront their needs with the vision the organization might have in the far future. So we speak about idealized future. It's a bit like the project you've done when you see, like, in 10 years we want the city hub to be like this, and what do we have to do to reach this goal? So that's strategies. And in here, I think you can find back municipalities in the previous project. Maybe policy making is part of the strategy. And we also design what we call system. Here it's like you take the mobility as a whole. I'm sorry for the presentation, you see all the you take the mobility as a whole, and you think about all the, when we call user in a system, it's like people, but also organization, policies, and who has an influence on whom, and how can you where do you have to intervene in the system to make it change completely? You don't have to change everything, but sometimes people have a very good people organization, whatever, they have a lot of forces and weight. So if you change only them, they will have consequences on others. So here we speak about the system of mobility, educational system, and so on. So this is what we do. When we speak about user centricity, it's whenever you take human into account. So you can take them into account in any step of a project. The group before you took it into account, I think, as research, you've done some research, I assume, but you also can do co-creation with them, you can test. So I'm going to quickly explain to you the different stage. User-centered is kind of a buzzword, but you have to just remain that it's something you use because you focus on people, that you can apply that on different level, like I explained before, and also it's creative methods to be used by non-designers. So it's templates, methods that can be used by different kind of people, and that's why it's interesting. It's open to everyone. When we speak about design thinking, it's not about aesthetic. When we speak about design, it's mainly about these three main bubbles: so desirability, feasibility, and viability. So desirability, I think it's what the first group talked about, attractivity. So you have to take into account that the object, product, service you do, people have to be able to use it and want to use it or attracted to it. Feasibility is technical feasibility. It means that you don't create something which you can't realize. So you have to take into account the technology which is existing. And viability is to make the difference between design and piece of art. So you do something that can last in the time and also like can be reproduced at some point of time. I will pass on that, but it's quickly, there is 6 main mindsets, value that you can apply in design thinking. It's human-centered, iterative, so you always think back about what you've done and you can improve. So you can go back to the first steps and always improve your idea. Evidence-based, it's saying that your idea can be prototyped pretty fast and to be tested. Holistic is that you can take into account the whole issue, the mobility. It's a holistic view about mobility. Sequential, it means that you can cut it into different sequences, a bit like the movie you've done before. It's sequenced. And collaborative, it means that you create that by interviewing people and involving them in the process. Quickly, just to say that you can involve users at different stage of of the project in the very beginning by doing interview, user research, or using an app with the municipality to understand what is their current experience, what do they need, and what are their issues. Because you never design for yourself, you design for people. Then you can also involve user at the second phase, it's explore phase. So when you start to have some ideas about a topic, here you can do some co-creation. That means you involve different kind of user to have their different point of view about ideas. So you can always have ideas which are very related to their reality. And they will directly tell you if it's working or not, or giving you new ideas. And then at the end almost of a project, you can also involve user by testing your ideas with them. So you just quickly test if it's working or not, and what do you have to change in your project to make it work better. In that perspective, you don't lose that much time into like developing a whole idea and finding out at the end that you can't use it. We work on different kind of projects in Naman at different various topics, sometimes about mobility, sometimes about much more about other topics. But what I think is interesting for mobility for you, what I think in general, and what is interesting but difficult is that you have, and for the hub, you have a lot of different kind of users. So it's difficult to define, I'm going to do that for the single mother who is always carrying children with her, for instance, or so it's very difficult to define a product for multiple users, I assume. It's used at different moments in the day, in the year. It's different use at different moments. You also have different level of infrastructure involved. So cars, buses, and so on. You have different level of decision to take into account. I think in Belgium there is a lot of level of decision, but the city, the region have their words, the citizen have his words too, and also the different policies. So I think in that regard, it's very interesting, but very difficult to provide a solution for everyone.
Marie, can you try to conclude, please? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's conclusion. Sorry. To scope your challenge and think in idealized future and think about the need of people and not the technology. Just to quickly conclude, we have because I talked about methods. So just you can have some methods. If you want to try, we have a toolkit. So this will be shared, but you can try different methods in here. I'm sorry for the.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Now it's perfect. Thanks a lot. So we have asked Marie from Naman to put a user in the middle. This is for us very important. So this message was really clear. Now it's time for the third group of students coming from the University of Ghent. Tina, Diana, can you come on stage, please? So you can start your page. Good luck.
Okay. We will be sharing a PowerPoint. They say good things come in 2, but we do not agree. We think good things come in 5. Not only does the team consist of 5 members, we also created a Mobihub formula that consists of 5 elements. These 5 elements are infinite sustainability, sensory experience, frictionless mobility, social utopia, and smart technology. The sum of these 5 elements equals the Mobihub of the future. Now, I would like you to meet our customer, Emily. She and I will take you on a journey through the Mobihub.
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm working mom with 2 kids, so my life can get very hectic from time to time. Living in the big city and not having my own car makes it quite difficult to get around.
Well, Emily, the Mobihub is a great solution for this kind of problem. Here, we focus on convenience and accessibility by bringing together all means of transportation. It ensures an easy journey from one place to another. A customer like you can easily reserve a car, bike, or any other mode of sustainable transportation on the mobile app.
This seems very convenient. I've also noticed the vertical garden, and I really like this concept because I'm very concerned about the environment and strive for a more sustainable future.
This is what we at Mobihub strive for as well. There are solar panels embedded in the outer walls of our building. This makes sure that we can support the full Mobihub with only solar energy. Apart from the vertical garden, we also have a rooftop garden, where we grow our own vegetables and fruits. The garden also helps us to control the temperature of the building and can be a home for the wildlife in the city.
I really love that, and I really love that I can do everything here, from enjoying a meal at this beautiful place to taking a walk on the rooftop garden while connecting to nature. Even when I don't want to be disturbed and just listen to my own music, I can visit the sound hubs. The Mobihub really just tingles all of my senses.
I'm so glad to hear. That's exactly what we intended.
But I also enjoy the convenience that the Mobihub provides me from all the different smart technologies that are implemented in the Mobihub.
That's right. We believe that innovation starts by thinking what no one else dares to think. The technologies that are implemented in the Mobihub are based on Industry 4.0 technologies. These are technologies that are all connected with each other, such as smart banking systems, smart speakers, a mobile application, smart security cameras, drones, and automated robots that are placed all over the Mobihub.
Wow. And as I said before, I have a busy lifestyle which doesn't allow me to focus much on my mental and physical health. Having 2 kids takes up most of my time, so I'm thankful that I have the option to drop them off at the daycare center. That gives me time to take a moment to myself to either go to the gym, chill at the rooftop garden, or do my groceries at the bio shop. I can get work done even at the provided working spaces, and if I'm really tired, I could take a nap at the sleeping capsules.
Yes, indeed, you can do all of that here. Thank you, Emily, for taking us on this customer journey. We tried to give you a clear view of all 5 elements, but there's so much more to discover. So I would like to invite you to take a look on our website to get the full future Mobihub experience. Thank you for your attention.
Oh, thanks a lot. Really nice echo. Was really cool. Jury members, come on stage, please. So you have 5 minutes, Rebecca, Marie, and Benoit to ask questions, and also the other group members, because it was a group work. Welcome on stage. So Rebecca, Marie, Benoit, have you got questions?
Yeah, thanks very much for the creative presentation, and it sounded like hearing a voice from the future. You've really taken a very broad take on the sense of mobility hub. So you've taken it seems like to not just a smaller mobility hub, but just a entire. Well, it seems like a center, everything all in one. What other user groups do you see for the mobility hub that you have thought of? And the second question, how does your idea of the mobility hub for the future fit into cities of the present?
Well, the other user groups that we have considered is that the Mobihub that we presented is accessible to everyone. So old people, people who have handicaps, children can stay at the day center, working moms or dads, or just intern people or students who need to go with the train or bus every day, who maybe have some time over or who don't have time to go to the shop or pharmacy or gym, and they can all do that at the Mobihub so that it's one unique experience for everyone. And to make it accessible in the cities today, this is perhaps for more of the big cities that we can apply it to. We think it could be like a big center, for example, like a mall, that can be placed in the middle of a city, like, for example, a big city, not smaller cities, but that can be connected to smaller cities through the transportation.
Okay.
And still, we also think that we have a futuristic view, but already some of the technologies and services can already be implemented today. So we try to have a mix.
Marie and Benoit, maybe another question?
Yeah, very short. I know that you introduced a new technology, future technology into your solution as a perspective. I was wondering, why do you want to put all the things together in one place? Maybe it's definition of a hub, but
well, because we didn't want the Mobihub just to be about transportation for the people to get in, get out, and not even experience it. And many people who use like transportation daily, for example, like bus, train, they have to go to multiple places. And we thought it would be very convenient for people to have it all in one place. They don't have to go from point A to B to C. They can go from A to B and not lose much time, which gives them more time, reduces people's stress. We based our research also on trends that we see in the consumer markets. People are very concerned about mental and physical health. They have a lot of stress, and we thought with the Mobihub, if that could take a part away, it will be a total experience and very useful for people to use it in the future.
Thank you.
Benoit, have you got a final question?
Yes, just how do you imagine your Mobihub implemented in smaller cities like Leuven, for instance, or Ghent? You mentioned that it was more thought for large metropolis, but how do you see this implemented in smaller cities?
For example, for example, like in Leuven or in Ghent, it's a very student-oriented place, but you have like the big market or the station. For example, you have St. Peter's Plain or St. Peter's Station, where you can have the whole part of the Mobihub, which is quite a big place, and there is still open space. So we think that will be a good center to connect everything.
Yes, and also this is like the full experience of the Mobihub, and we also believe that it can be adapted to smaller sizes of cities, for example, Ghent or Leuven, and then in the bigger cities, more services or technologies can be added.
So, thank you very much. Congratulations with this nice pitch and those answers. Now it's time to go back. Everyone may leave the stage. It's time for a break and play a quiz.